Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Bol Jaya Radha Nila Madhavrada Jaya Radha Nila Madhavrade Jaya Radha Giridhari Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Chanda Nitai Gaura Chanda Gaura Hari Jai Gaura Hari Jaya Nitai Chaitanya Chanda Nitai Gaura Chanda Gaura Hari Jai Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Gaur Premanandi
Parivrajaga Acharya Stotrashta Shishmad His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivrajika Acharya Ashtotarashta Shishmad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Naam Acharya Haridas Thakur ki Iskcon Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधार श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की अयोध्या धाम की गंगा मई यमुना मई तुलसी देवी भक्ति देवी की श्री श्री राधा नीलमाधव की श्री श्री राधा गिरिधारी की श्री श्री गिरिराज गोवर्धन की श्री श्री निताय चैतन्य चंद्र गौर चंद्र की युग धर्मा हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र की ट्रांसेंडेंटल प्रसादम ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना जमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा नील माधव राधे जय प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवकाचार्य स्तोत्र सत श्री डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tatho Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtuki. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Verse 11. Etan nirvidyamananam Ichhatam makuto bhayam Yoginam nirpranirnetam Harirnamanukirtanam Etan nirvidyamananam Ichhatam makuto bhayam Yoginam nirpranirnetam Harirnamanukirtanam. Please chant. Etan nirvidyamananam Ichhatam akuto bhayam Yoginam nirpanirnitam Harirnamanukirtanam. Etan nirvidyamananam Ichhatam akuto bhayam Yoginam nirpanirnitam Harirnamanukirtanam. Ichhatam akuto bhayam Yoginam nirpanirnitam Harirnamanukirtanam. Mataji. Etan nirvidyamananam Ichhatam akuto bhayam Yoginam nirpanirnitam Harirnamanukirtanam. Etan nirvidyamananam Ichhatam akuto bhayam Yoginam nirpanirnitam Harirnamanukirtanam. Now word for word meaning. Etat, it is. Nirvidyamananam, of those who are completely free from all material desires. Ichhatam, of those who are desirous of all sorts of material enjoyment. Akuta bhayam, free from all doubts and fear. Yoginam, of all who are self-satisfied. Nirpa, O King, Nirnitam, decided truth. Hare, of the Lord, Sri Krishna. Nama, holy name. Anu, after someone. Always. Kirtanam, chanting. The translation and the purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O King, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. And the purport? In the previous verse, the great necessity for attaining attachment to Mukunda has been accredited. There are different types of persons who desire to attain success in different varieties of pursuits. Generally, the persons are materialists who desire to enjoy the fullest extent of material gratification. Next to them are the transcendentalists who have attained perfect knowledge about the nature of material enjoyment and thus are aloof from such an illusory way of life. More or less, they are satisfied in themselves by self-realization. Above them are the devotees of the Lord, who neither aspire to enjoy the material world nor desire to get out of it. They are after the satisfaction of the Lord, Sri Krishna. In other words, the devotees of the Lord do not want anything on their personal account. If the Lord desires, the devotees can accept all sorts of material facilities, and if the Lord does not desire this, the devotees can leave aside all sorts of facilities, even up to the limit of salvation. Nor are they self-satisfied, because they want the satisfaction of the Lord only. In this verse, Sri Sukdev Goswami recommends the transcendental chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So we'll stop here and then come back later on. Om Jnanam Timiram Dhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yenam Tasme Shri Gurave Namo. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Giriraj Swami Iti Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Hare Krishna, thank you for being here. First of all, I would like to thank His Grace Shyam Sundar Prabhu for giving me the opportunity to give Bhagavatam class. At first, I was very reluctant because, I get very nervous, and I said I won't be able to, do it. But, he assured, and he said that just depend on Guru and Krishna and everything will be okay. So I took the advice and here I am. And I also like to seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas here, so I may at least remember what I prepared. And, so thank you very much. So this particular verse is one of the key verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. It describes the glories of chanting of the holy name of the Lord. As you see, this verse is from the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, and verses 11. So actually, the Bhagavatam starts from Canto 2. The first canto is more like preface, or you can say introduction, the setting of the scene for the rest of the Bhagavatam. Canto 1 ends with Parikshit Maharaj asking Shukdev Goswami the very important question. And you know what that was? Anyone? What did Parikshit Maharaj ask Shukdev Goswami? Right. What is the duty of a person who is about to die? So now, Canto 2 starts from that point on. Sukdev Goswami is now answering Parikshit Maharaj's question. And Sukdev Goswami starts with praising Parikshit Maharaj for asking such a great question. He says that the answer to this particular question is the supreme subject matter for hearing for entire humanity, for everybody. Not only Parikshit Maharaj will benefit, but rest of us, because we are also in same position. The only difference is that Parikshit Maharaj knew that he's going to die in 7 days. He was cursed to die in 7 days. So he knew, but only difference is we don't know when we will die. But we all know that one day we will all die. So whatever is written here it all applies to us also. And Sukdev Goswami starts with that a person who desires freedom from all the miseries and fear must hear about and glorify, chant, and remember Lord Hari. So in this particular shloka, Sukdev Goswami is focusing on the chanting of the holy names. As you know, the goal of life is to remember Krishna at the time of death and then go back to Godhead. So the goal is to remember Krishna then. And in Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says in chapter 8, Attaining the Supreme, that Antakale chamameva smaranam muktva kalevaran sa priyati sa madbhavam yati nasti atra sanshaya. And the translation is that at the time of death, when a person quits his body, if he remembers me alone, quickly achieves my nature, of this there is no doubt. And Srila Prabhupada, in the purport of that particular verse, says that even though it's very important to remember Lord at that time, but it's not easy, especially for a person who is impious, who has never practiced devotional service, have never chanted, so it's going to be very difficult, not easy. And he continues to say that one should incessantly and continuously chant the holy name of the Lord, then only there will be success at the end. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also advises that in order for us to chant, actually, we have to be tolerant and humble. So, trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahisuna. Though we have to be humble and tolerant as tree. Because when we are chanting, there will be many difficulties, there will be many impediments. But if you are tolerant, we will tolerate everything and continue to chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. So, it's difficult to remember Lord Krishna at time of death, but what helps, usually whatever we are most attached to, we remember, If something we love very much, we are very attached to, that is what we will remember more likely. There is this story that one of Srila Prabhupada's disciple who was driving, and then as he came to the railroad tracks, his car stalled. And then he was very panicked, and he's trying to get the engine going, and he's trying everything, but it's not working. He looks up, the train is there, and he says, okay, let me chant. And he starts chanting, but just when the impact happens, he remembers, oh, what will my wife do? So, of course, he lived to tell this story, but that is how it is. We never know. We really have to be fixed. We have to be really possessive about our chanting or remembering. Because what develops our attachment is actually service. When we serve something or somebody, that we naturally develop attachment for that thing or that person. Just like, mother and child relations. Mother is always serving child. without thinking of anything in return. Causelessly she is serving without any motivation. And she's always thinking of her child, naturally. So this is how we should also try to serve Krishna. And that one way is by chanting of the holy name. It is said in actually that attachment for Krishna is actually already there. It's not something artificial we have to force our mind to think. It's already there, it just has to be reawakened. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunai Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Karaya Uday. Krishna Prem, attachment for Krishna is quite natural. It is already there, it simply has to be reawakened. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advises, Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanan. All glories to Sri Krishna Sankirtan, because simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, everything else will follow. So, Kirtanya Sadahari, he says, that more we chant, the more our disease of our heart, which is like enjoyment, will decrease. And then gradually we will be attracted by Lord Krishna. And actually Lord Krishna will get attracted to us. Our purified heart will attract him. And our love for him will be reawakened. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as we all know, has said, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, kalau nasteva 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 gati anyatha. For spiritual progress in this age of Kali, there is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. It's like he said 3 times. But the only way is chanting of the holy name. The chanting of the holy name actually is glorified throughout the Bhagavatam in so many places. And so I would like to ask if anybody remembers where else in Srimad Bhagavatam the glories of the chanting of the holy name has been described, and personalities who have, practiced or who showed us by example. Sarvabhauma Prabhu? Yeah, Ajamila story, yes. How even though he was a pious person, but most of his life he spent doing all kinds of sinful activities. But at the end of life, as we all know, just by remembering the Lord's name, even though he was not calling the Lord, he was calling his dear son Narayan. But just by doing that, calling Narayan, he went back to Godhead. So anywhere else? Dhruva Maharaj, yes. Like in this verse it says, whether you are full of material desires or free from material desires, this will work. Dhruva Maharaj, of course, in the beginning had material desires, but then he got purified by just chanting the holy name of the Lord, and then we know, rest of the story. And similarly, one more person comes to my mind. Prahlad Maharaj, yes. Prahlad Maharaj is a great example that in all sorts of difficulties, all he had was the holy name, and he was able to achieve. He is such a great devotee from the start, actually. So in Bhurijana Prabhu's book, Japa, he mentions this particular verse also, and then he includes Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, and then that commentary says that there are 9 processes of bhakti, right? 9 angas of bhakti, and out of those 9, the chief one are hearing and chanting and remembering are the chiefs. Then out of these 3, chanting is the chief. And chanting can be 3 kinds: chanting the holy name of the Lord, chanting the pastimes of the Lord, and chanting his glories. And out of these 3, chanting of the holy name is the supreme, is the most important. And then at the end he says that all the acharyas, all the previous acharyas have come to this conclusion, and he also is concluding that the chanting of the holy name is the topmost. In this particular verse, Srila Prabhupada says that, Sukdev Goswami mentions that it is the doubtless and fearless way for success. So what is that fear? All of us are very fearful of so many things in life. But the one thing we are all very fearful of is death. Yeah, because actually that is, we do so many things to live longer. We have so many health plans, we go exercise, we go see doctor if something is wrong, we take medicine. Why? Because we want to live. And we also, at homes, we put security system, we buy insurance, we buy the car with the most security features. So all that is that we want to continue to live. And but that is actually natural, because we are eternal living entities. We are eternal soul, not the body. So this is not natural. Death is not natural for a living entity. So it's natural to think and do that way. Another reason is that the reason we are in this material world is that we wanted to enjoy. We got this body and senses to enjoy. And then when we think of death, we think, oh, that's the end of enjoyment. So we are very fearful of death. But chanting of the holy names will end that fear. No more fear, no more lamentation, because you are with Krishna himself. Holy name is no different than Krishna being with you. You are under his shelter, so there won't be any fear if we depend on the holy name. So Sukdev Goswami is recommending the chanting of the holy name for all sorts of people, he said. In the verse here he says, and Prabhupada also mentioned in a very lengthy way that how it's for people who are all classes of people, who are free. Either we are free for all material desires, or those who are desirous of material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied. So it covers pretty much all of us here. Chanting of the holy name. Also, this is actually similar. This verse is similar to another verse in Bhagavatam. Can somebody remember? Yes. Very good. Yeah. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. Whether one is free from desires or full of material desires, or after liberation, one should, with all efforts, worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that devotees of the Lord neither aspire to enjoy material world nor desire to get out of it. They are after the satisfaction of the Lord. And also, same thing in this purport also, Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing this particular point that, devotees, they are happy in whatever situation. And in 6th canto also, Lord Shiva tells Mother Parvati, he tells her that Narayan parasarve na kutaschana bibhyati swarga apavarga narkashva api tulyartha darshana. That devotees solely engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Narayan, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Narayan, never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. So someone may ask that, how can that be? You are just serving Krishna and not doing anything for yourself, living in very difficult situation. How can one be happy? So our acharyas actually have given a nice analogy that just like when a person who is very poor lives in the village and he decides to go to city to work hard, to earn money and send whatever he earns back home for his children and wife. And he is living in a very austere condition. He is going through many, many hardships. But when he gets the letter from his wife that, oh, my children, your children are doing good, our children are going to nice school, they are nice, something to eat, and they have, doing well, that gives him happiness, that makes his day. And then he continues to even more, do better, even better, so, they can be in a better situation. So just like that, devotee can be happy in any situation because he is serving Lord. He is serving the Lord, and he knows if Krishna is, just by making Krishna happy, he becomes happy, just like, we give many times example, if we water the root of the tree, then whole tree is happy, Similarly, when the devotee is engaged completely 24/7 in the service of the Lord, and he is happy. And because to perform devotional service, he really doesn't need much. Krishna only needs our love, and especially the chanting of the holy name can be done at any time, anywhere, in any situation. So here, Srila Prabhupada, later on, Shri Radha Nila Madhav ki jai, Radha Giridhari ki jai, Giriraj Govardhan ki jai, Nitai Gaura Chandra, Nitai Chaitanya Chandra ki jai. Another good example I wrote here that, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it says, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ateva Shant, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakala Ashant. There's, all these other bhukti, mukti, meaning, those who are after fruitive results for their pious activities, those who are they desire salvation and identify with the Supreme, and those who desire material perfection of mystic power are all restless because they all want something for themselves. But the devotee is completely peaceful because he has no demand for himself, and he always ready to serve the desire of the Lord. So that is the key. So we will now, either we will read quickly the rest of the purport, or how much time? Yeah, we have time, I think. We can go on. So the next Srila Prabhupada in the purport we left off is from 10 offenses, right? He was going to here. By offenseless, it says in the purport that offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name of the Lord, one becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord, and then with the attributes of the Lord, and then with the transcendental nature of his pastime, etc. So like by chanting, everything else will follow. He actually discourages us to, while chanting, to be, artificially remembering the form of the Lord, pastime of the Lord. No, he says we should focus on the syllables. We should be focusing on the sound of the Mahamantra we are vibrating. That is the goal. The rest will come automatically. And then he says, this means that hearing from the authorities is the first essential, because in the verse itself, it says that after the ways of the great authorities. So that means we follow parampara system. That is the key. He said first is essential. So we hear it from the senior devotees, from the acharyas, and then having faith in them, we chant. By their blessings, we will be able to get results we are desiring. Then I think we all know the 10 offenses. We chant 10 offenses after the Mangalarti is over. And, all of them are really important for us to, get the results we want. The main thing is offenseless chanting. Unless our chanting is offenseless, it will not really, it will do, of course, it will help our devotional service, but not as much unless we are, chanting offenselessly. That is the key. So especially, like for example, the 10th offense, which is, what is that? Having no faith, even not having faith in the chanting of the holy names, and still, so many things we do, and still we don't we have material desires. So faith is very important. Srila Prabhupada had faith in holy name, actually. That's why we are here. That faith carried him through all the difficulties. And he was so successful just by, chanting the holy name of the Lord. It is said that one of his god brother, it's called Akinchana Krishna Das Babaji Maharaj, who Srila Prabhupada actually considered Paramhansa. So he one time, he approached another god brother of Srila Prabhupada, and he said that, so he would call Prabhupada, he called Srila Prabhupada Swami Maharaj. That Swami Maharaj went to America and he became so successful, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj, in earlier, before Srila Prabhupada came here, before that, he had sent him to England to preach, that god brother. So he said, you didn't do anything. You went, you preached the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Swami Maharaj, he went and he preached same thing. And you also depended on you also preached the holy name of the Lord, and he also did the same. But here, he became tremendously successful, and you didn't. So you know why he is asking the other god brother, do you know why that happened? And then he himself answers that because Srila Prabhupada had the complete faith in the holy name of the Lord. So that's, one example. Then later on, also another person who says that one time he met Srila Prabhupada in Mathura in early days when Srila Prabhupada was still Grihastha. And he said that you are a chemist, you know all sorts of formulas. Can you give me formula to develop love for God, love for Lord? How, so he said, Srila Prabhupada said, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahisuna amanina manidena kirtaniya sadahari. So from very early age, very early on, Srila Prabhupada had that complete faith in the chanting of the holy name. And then I will just mention, since we have been to so many japa retreat and we read, japa books, how to improve our chanting, and a few things come to mind. That one time last time when I was in Vrindavan, and I met a person at somebody's home, and he said, who is your spiritual master? And I said, His Holiness Giriraj Swami. And he said, okay, in early days, he was in Juhu when he was a teenager. He lived at Juhu temple. So one time he was chanting and in the hallway, and he fell asleep. And then Maharaj was passing by, and he saw him, the chanting bag on his lap, and he's asleep. So he wakes him up and asks all other question. But then he said, you are trying to chant, but it will be very nice if you remember this particular thing, that remember 3 P's, like letter P. The first one is posture, that you should sit with a nice posture so you don't fall asleep. And the second P is for pronunciation. Our pronunciation should be very clear. We should be able to hear each syllable. Third P is for prayer. Like our mood should be very prayerful. Like we should not just, absent-mindedly chant. We should really, as we are hearing the vibration of the holy name, our mood should be prayerful. And then when we have all these things in alignment, then the presence of Krishna will be with us. So the fourth P is presence of Krishna. If we like presence of Krishna, we have to do our best. So the second thing, that we should, if possible, chant with some serious chanters, especially in the beginning, or even for everybody, actually. When we are with senior devotees who take chanting seriously, we should chant with them. And especially like in Mangal Aarti, if you can come to Mangal Aarti, that is the best time to chant. Early on, and there is no way at home we can do the same, Even here we struggle, but there are so many reminders we get that, we go back to the chanting. There will be distraction. Our mind is always with me, always with us, no matter where we go. So, but still, our mind sees Tulsi plant, Tulsi Maharani, we see the, that pujaris are dressing the deities, even though our mind will be distracted, but at least we are thinking about the Lord, what outfit they are going to wear. And also other, we have very, very serious chanters in our community. And just by looking at them, you get inspired, So that's another tip or what can help us. And that Bhurijana Prabhu said, don't listen to your mind, listen to the mantra. So because that we have to make effort, it is possible, by, like Lord Krishna says, that, by prayas, we can do it. So we have to really ignore our mind, We know that our mind, we have listened to our minds for millions of years, Now we have to just ignore and come back to chanting. And our whole, actually, all our senses, mind, everything should be involved in chanting. That's how, we will see some improvement. We will see some difference in chanting. When we are, our mood should be very like, I am nothing type, that I am insignificant. That's, humble, being in humble mood, that will help us in our chanting. And then also I would like to recommend that we are going to have Japa retreat soon. And we should all sign up for it. And it's a great opportunity. We don't have to go fly somewhere, spend money. We are fortunate His Holiness Romapad Maharaj comes every year. He has been so, merciful. So we should take advantage of that. And all of us should sign up. And then last thing, I would like to mention that whatever, the contents, most of the contents of whatever I spoke actually came from, I listened to His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, my spiritual master, and he actually, this is one of his very favorite verse, and he gives talk on this one many times. So I listened to it, and I asked for his forgiveness if I had, by unknowingly distorted any facts or didn't remember quite well. So I ask for his forgiveness. So, and thank you for listening, and I hope that you got something out of it. I do have, since we have few minutes, I do have one time I asked Romapad Maharaj a question. And he actually sent me an email, and there was this, it's not very long, but it is very powerful what he wrote. He gave this, that he said is from Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya's teachings. The title is, this a book called Sri Chaitanya's Teaching, or some writing which is called Sri Chaitanya's Teaching by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. It says, the most important in chanting the holy name is the spiritual realization backing the name. That is the real name. A tape recorder can pronounce the holy name of Krishna just like a parrot. But the physical sound is not Krishna. In the background, there must be spiritual truth, which is consciousness. You cannot capture the holy name of Krishna simply by vibrating syllables of the holy name with your tongue. Ravana wanted to capture Sita, and he thought he did. But factually, he did not even touch her divine body. Ravana caught only a mundane replica of Sita Devi, an imitation which was like a statue of Sita. You cannot vibrate the holy name simply by moving the lips and tongue. The pure name of Krishna is not lip deep, but heart deep. Ultimately, it goes beyond the heart and reaches the land of Krishna. When Krishna comes down, the name comes through the heart and moves the lips and tongue. That vibration is the holy name of Krishna. When Krishna, in the form of sounds, descends from the transcendental world into the heart, and from the heart, controlling every aspect of the nervous system, comes to the lips and tongue dancing there, that is Krishna Nama. That sound is not produced from the material plane. The spiritual sound has come down into this plane. He can come down, but we cannot go so easily go up there. The holy name is only realized when the holy name is only realized when we approach him with a very intense serving attitude. At that time, Krishna himself may come down by his grace, being attracted by our serving nature. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Any comment? And you can add something. Thank you. By your mercy of all the Vaishnavas who are so supportive.
I think the fact that you followed a nice lecture by your Guru Maharaj was a good decision. He gives classes that are very well structured, very, so.
Yes, all credit goes to him. That's definitely a very good point.
And a lot of credit for you also.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful class. And when you started off, I was sharing with Sundar Gopal Prabhu. Maharaj has given, Giriraj Maharaj has given not one time, maybe a number of times.
5, 6
this,
times, yeah.
Class, and Maharaj himself exemplifies his taste for holy name so well. Mm-hmm. Like when he chants, you can see the observation, the way he is focused,
yes.
and the amount of love he has for the holy name.
Nice.
So it's amazing. So thank you very much. I had one question on this particular purport, which Srila Prabhupada repeats in many of the purports. He says, the devotees of the Lord are only living for the satisfaction of the Lord. Even they don't even, of course, they don't say, I want to be in material world, I want to live the material world. For them, it's just the satisfaction of the Lord. So my question is, my question is, within the satisfaction of the Lord, intrinsic is, the devotee also gets contentment, right? So it's not that he lives a life of frustration.
Yeah, he's automatically satisfied, because Krishna is Sachidananda Vigraha. So when we are associating, when we are chanting the holy name, and we know, name is Krishna himself, so we are in connection with Krishna, we are associating with Krishna himself, so there can be no more, there will be satisfaction automatically. That's why people are carrying on. Like, for example, like you are saying that, Guru Maharaj, he has been practicing for 50 years almost. So that's because he gets satisfaction, Otherwise, nobody will carry on. So, even us, we may be struggling, but there is no way if somebody said, stop chanting, That's why, because we are satisfied, We know what we were before and now, so that, that is satisfaction. And we can all say that, the reason we are here is we feel satisfaction, more satisfaction than anything else we do, right? Thank you.
And one final question is, also Prabhupada writes that, the material nature, the devotees of the Lord are not really interested to live the material world. So does it mean that in this world itself, they're in the spiritual realm?
Maybe somebody else can say that. His question is that is Srila Prabhupada, when he's saying that devotees of the Lord, they don't want to live in this material world, is that... Leave, okay, leave. No, actually, devotee doesn't want anything for him. Even he doesn't pray that, I want to leave this material world. Because when you are performing devotional service, Golok Vrindavan is here, because this is what we'll be doing, serving, Then we are serving, we are enjoying, like, Shobha Kishori Mataji, she's Jai Shri Radha Nila Madhav ki Jai, Radha Giridhari ki Jai, Giriraj Govardhan ki Jai, Nitai Chaitanya Chananta. So, like I was saying, Shobha Kishori Mata is a Priyal, they are cleaning kitchen almost every day, that once a week they do a big job thoroughly, but every day she goes and makes sure everything is in, because why? She's enjoying it so much, She's not really personally getting anything in return, but that satisfaction which is beyond anything else, right? So she's dedicated, she likes it, so that is.
I have a question, Mataji. So you mentioned very nice point, Prabhupada Maharaj's email to you, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's. So Krishna, the name actually comes from Goloka, enters your heart, and then it really comes through the real name.
Yeah.
So we could be chanting our whole life and not have uttered one real name of Krishna.
That's true.
So how do we escape from this deception? Because looks like Krishna is deceiving us. Krishna, I'm chanting your name every day. I'm pronouncing so clearly according to the Sanskrit meter. But how is this? You have deceived me.
Yeah. Well,
So what is the solution to that?
Solution.
How, because we find we could be just floating around chanting for 40, 50
That's true.
years.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, sincerity, if we are really sincerely trying to be at this stage where, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur mentioning that it has, of course, that will take probably long time, but it doesn't, at least our aim is that, our goal is to reach there one day. So if we sincerely try and Krishna is in our heart, he will see our, sincerity and how much effort we are putting, he will help us. Anything you like to add, Radha Krishna Prabhu, on this? Yeah, okay. Yeah, after.
I like the fact that you said sincerity. Sincere doesn't mean just chanting also. It means service also, taking up the teachings of the acharyas, following their footsteps. Service, a lot of time we think service just chanting, that is also service. But more than that, going out, what we call jivadoy, to help other people to also understand that they are also living entities, part and parcel of Krishna. Now when we do that sincerely, then the Lord, then out of His causeless mercy, then He manifests in our hearts, and then we can chant purely. Yeah. Shamsundar wants to say.
Okay, thank you.
I think when we sincerely chant, our faith increases. And by having the faith increases, we will be becoming more dedicated for the service, practical service, as well as the service to the holy name. And it's a gradual process. You make more chanting clearly, purely. Your faith will increase more and more, and you will become attached more and more to the holy name.
Yeah, that's true. The Shyam Sundar Prabhu especially, he gives us practical example, he's really into chanting, that's his main activity, and he focuses and he tries, and he also tries to tell us also by example, he's teaching us, so thank you very much.
Actually, we have to be grateful for the opportunity given us. With the grateful heart we chant, everything is possible.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, that's a great point. Sarvabhauma Prabhu wanted to say something.
You have the picture of Draupadi when she was being threatened by the Kauravas, so she just chanted Hey Govinda with total dependence,
Yeah.
And usually we keep very comfortable, so we chant not so desperately.
Yes.
So that's one other point.
Complete dependence. Okay, anyone else? Yeah, Mataji.
Thank you very much for the wonderful class. I just wanted to mention, Mataji is very kind of humble, but she's an inspiration and encouragement for us, because she was talking about the morning program, and she's one of the devotees that actually attends the whole morning program, not just for a festival or a weekend, but even during the weekdays as well. So if, she was talking about chanting in the association of serious chanters. She's one of the serious chanters too. I really like the tips that you gave for chanting. And I just wanted to add one more that Hanuman Prashak Maharaj shares.
Yes.
And he says that it's also nice sometimes to record your chanting so that you can actually hear the syllables, and you'll be surprised, like, some of the syllables you'll miss and things like that.
Recall?
Record it, yeah.
Record,
record,
okay.
Yes. Right?
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande.